I am going to be watching, like I do every year, the Oscar nomination announcements for this year. And sorry for the pause there. I am a little tired, but don't worry, we've got coffee. And I'm not really any more tired than I usually am when I get up in the morning because I often get up earlier than this. But anyway, what I figured I would do before we actually start listening to the nominations is go through some predictions that I have. Now, some of these predictions, they're very off the cuff and last minute. Other ones are ones where I've kind of been, listening to what's been going on in the award circuits and the buzz surrounding the films, and these are the ideas that I have so far. So, I know I'm kind of doing it the, not as ideal way, but I'm going to go ahead and just start going through. So, we're going to start from the bottom. So, my predictions for Best International Film of who the nominees are going to be, it's going to be Drive My Car, Flee, The Worst Person in the World, A Hero, and The Hand of God. And it's sounding a lot like Drive My Car is not only going to get the nomination, but it's going to win. There's actually been a lot of buzz surrounding it recently. I wouldn't put it on the same level as, the Parasite buzz, so far anyway, but Drive My Car is getting a huge amount of buzz. There's actually talks that it could get a Best Picture nomination, but we'll see what happens there. So those are my thoughts for Best International Film, scrolling the wrong way like an idiot. Best Documentary Feature. So I'm thinking it's going to be Summer of Soul, Flee, Attica, Ascension, and The Rescue. And I think it's going to kind of be a race for the win between Summer of Soul and Flee, and I think that Summer of Soul is probably the most likely to take it. Now, Best Animated Feature. It's going to be probably Encanto, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Flee, and Raya and the Last Dragon. And I'm thinking that the winner's probably going to be Encanto, and honestly, if that's not the winner, then basically my idea of who is going to win kind of just goes down from here. So if Encanto doesn't win, it's going to be Luca. Even though I absolutely loved The Mitchells vs. the Machines, I don't think it's going to win this one, but it better get a nomination. So, moving on, Best Visual Effects. So, I'm thinking, and this one's a little hard to call, but my thoughts on who it's probably going to be, Dune's definitely going to be in there. Godzilla vs. Kong, I think, is definitely going to be in there. Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm really hoping is in there, and I think it will be, because it's done so well this year. It's done really well this year, and basically, they've got to give it something. I mean, people are rooting for it to get nominations all over the place. It's got to get this one. And same thing with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Matrix Resurrections, I'm kind of iffy about, because even though that movie did have pretty good effects, no one really liked the movie, which kind of... Even if you have a bad movie with good visual effects, the idea of it not being the greatest movie can kind of tank its chances, especially with Academy members, but we'll see what happens there. I'm picking The Matrix Resurrections. Now, for Best Sound, I'm thinking that it's probably going to be Spider-Man No Way Home, No Time to Die, Dune, A Quiet Place Part 2, and West Side Story. Now, Best Song, it's a little hard to call here, but my final 5 picks for the nominees is that it's going to be No Time to Die from No Time to Die, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto, and, God, I mispronounced that horribly, I'll bet. Be Alive from King Richard, Down to Joy in Belfast, and Here I Am Singing My Way Home from Respect. Why do I keep naturally scrolling the wrong way? So, Best Score. Now, Dune, I think, has a pretty darn good shot at getting in here, as does The Power of the Dog. The French Dispatch, I think, will. It probably won't get a lot of love from the Academy, but Alessandre Desplat, again, another name that I absolutely butchered saying it, usually gets a huge amount of love from the Academy with almost everything he does, so I'm putting him in here. Spencer and Encanto. Best Production Design. This one's a little hard to call too with the short list that they had, but my final 5 picks are Dune, West Side Story, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Belfast, and Nightmare Alley. Now, best makeup and hairstyling. I think that the top 5 most likely are Cruella, Dune, House of Gucci, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and West Side Story. Now, I am not going to lie. I always forget what the number of nominees is going to be for best makeup and hairstyling. I've seen it be 3 sometimes, I've seen it be 5 sometimes. I don't know if they changed the rule. That's one that I never really looked up myself. I know I look stupid saying this, but anyway. Best film editing. This one's a little hard to call too. I think that Dune and The Power of the Dog are definitely going to be in there. Belfast, I think, has a pretty good shot of being in there. The 2 I'm most iffy about are West Side Story and Don't Look Up, but I think that they're going to be the other 2. Best costume design, Cruella is going to go in there, Dune's going to be in there, House of Gucci's probably going to be in there. West Side Story and Spencer I'm a little iffy on, but people love West Side Story, and like it's a Spielberg film. I'm guessing it's probably going to be in there, and they often give musicals best costume design nominations. And Spencer, I do have kind of an inkling it'll be in there. Now, what we're seeing here are ones where I have some runners-up, and it's basically because, number 1, once we go from these categories upward, they're kind of my favorite categories, even though best film editing is one of my favorite categories too, and so is score. But there are other ones where I'm really iffy on who's going to get in. So, best cinematography. The 5 that I'm predicting finally are going to get in are Dune, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Belfast, and The Green Knight. I know that The Green Knight is a little bit of an iffy choice, but I'm going to go with it. And then I think that the next most likely to get in would be Nightmare Alley, West Side Story, and Spencer. Now, best original screenplay. There are a few that are definitely going to get in here, but the others I'm not so sure. So, I definitely think that Licorice Pizza is going to get in. I definitely think Belfast is going to get in. I sure as shit think that King Richard's getting in. Don't Look Up, I'm kind of not sure, but I think it's got a decent shot. Being the Ricardos, that's one that personally I have not watched, but I've heard iffy things about, for lack of better words. So, I'm throwing it in here because it's been getting a lot in the awards circuit. However, when it comes to ones that are kind of outside chance ones that people are rooting for, even though they're probably not going to get the nomination, my runners-up for this are Mass, Parallel Mothers, and Pig. Yes, I put in Pig. Now, best adapted screenplay. This one's even tougher. So, other ones that I think are locks are The Power of the Dog, Dune, and Coda. The Lost Daughter, I think, has a pretty darn good chance of getting in there. The 5th spot is really iffy. So, The Tragedy of Macbeth, I threw that in there because it's The Tragedy of Macbeth. It's Shakespeare. The Academy loves Shakespeare. And the runners-up, I think any of these 4 could potentially take a spot in here. West Side Story, Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley, and Passing. If Passing is going to get anything at all other than Best Supporting Actress, which I'll get to in a minute, it's going to be an adapted screenplay. So Best Supporting Actor. I think that 2 locks are Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog and Troy Kotsur for Coda. Ciarán Hinds, I'm probably butchering that name too. I think that he's going to get in for Belfast. Jamie Dornan I don't think is going to get in for Belfast, but I think Ciarán Hinds will. Bradley Cooper's probably going to get in for Licorice Pizza, and Jared Leto's probably going to be in for House of Gucci, even though I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Jared Leto, but I mean, his performance in that movie was big. It's the type of thing the Academy likes. So, runners-up, what I would really like to see is Ben Affleck in The Tender Bar, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Jamie Dornan I don't think is going to get in for Belfast, but he could. And Jesse Plemons, I think, has the next best chance for Power of the Dog. Now, Best Supporting Actress. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, Anjanae Ellis for King Richard, Katrina Bath for Belfast, and Ruth Negga for Passing. Now, I think the runners-up that could take that 5th spot are Ann Dowd, Cate Blanchett, and Marlee Matlin. Now, Best Actor. So, Will Smith, I'll be shocked if he doesn't get in for King Richard. Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, is definitely getting in for Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield better get in for Tick, Tick, Boom. Denzel Washington, I think, has a really good shot at getting in for Tragedy of Macbeth. Leonardo DiCaprio, or basically the fifth spot, I'm not so sure. I think that Leonardo DiCaprio probably has the best chance of getting in for Don't Look Up, even though I think the next best chance is Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. But I also think that Peter Dinklage has a pretty good chance of getting in for Cyrano, and I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but there was a lot of buzz around Nicolas Cage for Pig. So I'm putting him here as one of my outside chance type of guys. Now, Best Actress. Lady Gaga's getting in for House of Gucci. Olivia Colman's getting in for The Lost Daughter. A lot of people are thinking she's falling off, but I still think she has a really good shot. Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. My runners-up are Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Jennifer Hudson for Respect, Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza, and Rachel Ziegler for West Side Story. So, Best Director. Jane Campion is absolutely getting in for The Power of the Dog. Denis Villeneuve is getting in for Dune. Paul Thomas Anderson's probably getting in for Licorice Pizza because he's Paul Thomas Anderson. Kenneth Branagh is going to be getting in for Belfast. And Steven Spielberg is getting in for West Side Story. But the others who I think could take the spots are Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter, Adam McKay for Don't Look Up, and Ryosuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. And now we're getting to Best Picture. Now, this one's going to be tough. And I know that there's a runner-up in here that is probably very unlikely, but I do think it has traction. So I'm thinking the 10 nominees, and it is going to be 10 this year. They're doing away with the whole it can be between 5 and 10, surprise, it's 8 type of thing. So what we've got here, and actually I needed to check to make sure my mic was on. So Best Picture, I think the nominees are going to be Power of the Dog, Belfast, Dune, Licorice Pizza, West Side Story, Coda, King Richard, Don't Look Up, Tick, Tick, Boom, and The Tragedy of Macbeth. However, some others that I think could get in are Being the Ricardos. There's a very slim chance that Drive My Car could get in. There's also a very slim chance that The Lost Daughter could get in. And the one that I think has the least chance of all of these, but still has a chance just because of how well it's been doing and all of the love it's been receiving from pretty much everybody, Spider-Man No Way Home. I know that traditionally the Academy does not look with fond eyes. That was a really weird way of saying it. The Academy kind of looks down on superhero films a lot of the time. But I do think that there is a chance that this one could get in. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking for now, and we're going to wait for the nominations to start.
Now I'm ready. I love it. Understated and traditional.
Very much understated.
Here are the nominees for performance by an actress in a supporting role.
All right.
Jessie Buckley in The Lost.
Whoa! That's surprising.
Ariana DeBose in West Side Story.
That's kind of awesome, but that was unexpected.
Judi Dench in Belfast.
Wow.
Kirsten Dunst in Power of the Dog.
Anjani Ellis.
And Ingenue Ellis in King Richard.
All right.
My turn. Here are the nominees for achievement in costume design.
Well, I was way off.
Cruella.
All right.
Cyrano.
Okay.
Dune. Nightmare Alley. And West Side Story.
I was also a little off on
I'm
this
hurt
one.
my costume wasn't nominated again. Well, maybe next year. Here are the nominees for achievement in sound. Belfast.
Okay. Please let A Quiet Place 2 be here.
Dune. No Time to Die.
All right.
The Power of the Dog.
Okay.
And West Side Story.
Darn. was really close, but
As
Quiet
part of
Place
our movie
Part 2
lovers
didn't get in
uniting
here.
across the country, let's go to Troy, Michigan. Joining us are 11 healthcare professionals from Beaumont Hospital. Reading the nominees is physician's assistant and fellow movie lover, Shantia Bobo Harden.
That's pretty
who
cool,
loves
actually.
the movie Girl Trip. Shantia, over to you.
Thank you, Tracy. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music, Original Score.
Okay, let's see.
Don't Look Up,
It got in. Wow.
Dune,
Knew that was going to get in.
Encanto,
Had a feeling that was going to get in.
Parallel Mothers,
Okay.
and The Power of the Dog.
Wow. So,
Thank you so much,
Alexandre
Shantia.
Desplat did not get in for
And
the French
thank you
Dispatch.
to all the healthcare workers at Beaumont and all across the country who do so much for all of us. Thank you. Leslie, wait. Is that an official Oscar pendant? And if so, why didn't I get one?
I borrowed it from your Oscar nominations gift basket.
Ah, okay.
And now, adapted screenplay. The nominees are Coda,
Good.
screenplay by Sean Hayter,
Coda was fantastic.
screen by Ryusuke Hamaguchi
It got in.
and
Wow.
Taka Masaoka.
That's awesome.
Dune, screenplay by John Spates, Denis Villeneuve, and Eric Roth.
Oops.
The Lost Daughter, written by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
It's awesome that Drive My Car
And The
got
Power
in.
of the Dog, written by Jane Campion.
So what didn't get in
Here
there?
are the nominees for original screenplay. Belfast, written by Kenneth
Knew that was going to
Branagh.
happen.
Don't Look Up, screenplay by Adam McKay, story by Adam McKay and David Sirota.
King Richard, written by Zach Balin.
I know, I'm moving my mouse around.
Licorice Pizza, written by Paul Thomas Anderson.
And The Worst Person in the World, written
Whoa!
by Eskil Vogt
That is
and
pretty cool.
Joachim Trier.
Here are the nominees for Best Animated Short Film. Affairs of the...
I love the shorts categories,
Yes, yeah.
but I have no idea what the shorts are this year because I
Fox
haven't watched
Ballet.
any of them. That's why I didn't have any predictions.
Robin,
I most likely will be
And The
watching
Windshield Wiper.
all of them before the Oscars ceremony,
another
if I
category
can.
for me. Back to back Leslie again. I think they like my announcer voice. And now, the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film.
I'm gonna move my mouse over here,
A La Kachu,
my
Take
cursor
and
over here.
Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold. It's so appropriate that I just announced animated short film and live action short for I Am Animated.
So wait, I
And
gotta
short.
look back. Did King Richard
Oh,
get an
Leslie.
original
And
screenplay
now
nod?
here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a supporting role.
Okay,
Corinne Hines in Belfast.
okay.
Troy Kotzer
Yes,
in Coda.
he got in.
Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog.
Holy shit.
J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos.
Holy
And
shit.
Cody Smith-McPhee in Power of the Dog.
Holy shit.
In just a few minutes, we've got more nominee announcements coming up, including those for lead actor and actress, director, and best picture.
Jesse Plemons and J.K. Simmons.
How much fun is this?
Holy
This
shit.
is the most fun I
Now it is time for the rest of the Oscar nomination announcements, including the big one at the end for Big Picture. Here are the nominees
Best
for
Picture.
achievement in film editing.
Okay, let's see.
Don't Look Up,
It got in. Cool.
Dune,
Okay.
King Richard,
King
The
Richard.
Power
cool.
of the Dog,
Power of
and
the Dog.
Tick Tick Boom.
Okay. Cool.
Why, Leslie, don't you look beautiful?
Well, thank you, Tracy.
Oh, you're
Next,
welcome.
I get to announce everyone up for achievement in makeup and hairstyling. None of whom showed up at my house this morning. I did this all myself.
You did?
Yeah. Now here are the nominees. Coming to America.
It got in. Wow.
Cruella. Dune.
I didn't think Coming to America would get
The
in.
Eyes of Tammy Faye.
And House of Gucci.
And now it is time to meet a huge movie fan coming to us from Tampa.
A huge movie fan and a huge guy. Well, to me, everyone is huge.
Oh, Leslie. He is a WWE superstar who established the award-winning Thaddeus M. Bullard Academy at Sly Middle Magnet School. The Academy's mission is to serve economically disadvantaged students by providing them with a first-class education and creating a wonderful culture of positivity. Here is Titus O'Neill.
Thanks, Tracy and Leslie. To read the names of the nominees in this next category is a fellow movie lover, 8th grade track star, high honor roll student, Courtney Anderson, who loves the entire Twilight movie series. Courtney, take it away.
Here are the nominees for the Best Animated Feature Film. Encanto,
No, we get in.
Flea, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machine, and Raya and the Lost Dragon.
Yep. That is really cool that they're actually having people
So
around
thanks to Titus, Courtney, and all those amazing
from different
students
places
for
read
joining
these.
us.
And now, here are the nominees for Achievement in Music Original Song. Be Alive from King Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Dos Oruguitas from Encanto.
Down to Joy from Belfast.
No Time to Die from No Time to Die.
And Somehow You Do from Four Good Days.
So the one from
category is
Respect
Best
didn't get in.
Documentary short. Oh, you're making me do the short category again.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
It was you. It was you. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary
Okay, I gotta hand it
Short
to him. That one was pretty
Subject.
funny.
Audible. Lead Me Home. The Queen of Basketball. 3 Songs for Ben Azir. And When We Were Bullies. And now here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature.
All right, let's see.
Ascension.
Cool.
Attica.
Cool.
Flea.
Very cool.
Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not
Good.
Be Televised.
It got in.
And Riding with Fire.
Joining us from Times Square are New York's bravest members of the Fire Department of New York. At the microphone is fellow movie fan Lieutenant Thomas Carrera, whose favorite movie is Goodfellas.
Thank you, Leslie and Tracy. Coming to you live from Times Square, here are the nominees for Achievement in Visual Effects.
Okay, let's
The envelope,
see.
please. Dune,
Yes.
Free Guy,
Free Guy got in.
No Time to
Nice. No Time to Die.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten
Yes.
Rings,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Yes.
No Way Home.
Thank you so much to all the firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs.
So I'm being
for
dumb right
all
now.
that you
Which
do.
one that I picked
I
did not
wave
get in?
Every time you drive by, I say, hello, firefighters. I really do. Next up, the nominees for Achievement in Cinematography.
My memory is not working.
Dune,
Godzilla vs. Kong. Didn't get
Nightmare
in.
Alley,
Or Matrix
The
Revolutions.
Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. And now, here are the nominees, for Achievement in Production Design. Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
I'm actually surprised they're not reading off the names. They almost always do that.
Are you Are you wearing something different again?
Just because I'm hunkered down doesn't mean I can't dress up.
Okay.
So here are the nominees for Best International Feature Film.
All right, Drive My
Drive
Car.
My Car.
Drive My Car.
Japan. Flee, Denmark. The Hand of God, Italy. Luana, A Yak in the Classroom,
I don't even know if
Bhutan.
I've heard of that one.
And The Worst Person in the World, Norway.
Leslie, you keep stealing all my lines.
There's one for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Let's head
I
to
think
Ira
actors coming
Aldrich
up
Theater
next.
at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where we have a special presenter. Felicia Rashad is Dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts and joins us with some of her students. Hello.
Hello, and thank you, Leslie and Tracy. All of our students here are so inspired by Chadwick Boseman, a Howard grad who was so committed to this university. And as you know, Chadwick was nominated last year for Best Actor, and we are so honored to announce the nominees in this category. Speaking on behalf of the students who are with us today is a senior who's receiving his BFA in acting, John Woods III.
The nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role
Okay, here we go.
are Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos,
Javier Bardem got in.
Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog,
Good.
Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick
Good.
Boom,
Please don't snub Will
Will
Smith.
Smith in King Richard,
Good.
and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yes.
Awesome. So Leo didn't get in, but I'm not
Well
mad
done.
about these
Beautiful.
nominees.
Thank you, Felicia and John, and all of the students who joined us today.
And now, the nominees for performance by an actress in a leading role.
This one's going to be tough to call. Let's see.
Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
She got in.
Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter.
That was a lock.
Penelope Cruz in Parallel
Penelope
Mothers.
Cruz got in.
Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos.
Okay, who's next?
And Kristen Stewart in Spencer.
Yes.
Just 2 more categories left.
Woo! This is so exciting. The first.
I've been
is
waiting for her to
achievement in
finally get
directing,
nominated for an
and the
Oscar
nominees
because she
are
actually is a very good actress.
Kenneth Branagh, Belfast.
Okay, directing, Kenneth Branagh.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car.
They got in. Nice.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza.
Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
And Steven Spielberg, West Side Story.
I'm actually
And
not
finally,
remembering
the
who
big
I
one.
chose.
Here are the nominees
Okay,
for Best
here's the big one.
Picture. Belfast,
Knew
Laura
it.
Berwick, Kenneth Branagh, Becca Kovacic, and Tamar Thomas, producers.
Coda, Philippe Rousselet, Fabrice Giaffermi, and Patrick Waxberger, producer.
That is awesome that
So,
Coda got in.
producers.
I knew it would,
Don't
but it's
Look
still
Up,
awesome.
Adam McKay and Kevin Messick,
It
producers.
got in. Nice.
Drive My Car.
Holy
Terry
shit,
Gita
it got in.
Yamamoto, producer.
Drive My Car got in.
Dune, Mary Parent, Denis Villeneuve, and Cale Boiter.
So what's not
Producers.
getting in?
King Richard, Tim White,
Okay, good. That got
Trevor
in.
White, and Will Smith, producers.
Okay, Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza, Sarah Murphy, Adam Somner, and Paul Thomas Anderson, producers.
Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del
Whoa!
Toro,
It
J.
got
Miles
in.
Dale, and Bradley Cooper, producers.
The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, Tanya Segachian, Emil Sherman, Ian Canning.
Is it going to be West Side
and Roger
Story?
Frappier,
Tick Tick Boom and
producers.
Tragedy of Macbeth are getting snubbed.
And West Side Story, Steven Spielberg and Christy McCosco Krieger, producers.
Wow. That's a pretty cool list. Very surprising
10
in some
great
cases,
Best
but
Picture nominees.
not bad.
Everybody, please to all of the nominees.
So,
Make sure to watch
I gotta
this
go
year's
back and
Academy
double-check
Awards
something.
On Sunday, March
Directing.
27th on ABC.
Here are the nominees
crud.
for Gwen
Oops.
Story.
Yeah,
And finally,
Denis Villeneuve didn't get in. I was wrong. I think a lot of people were wrong. Holy cow. So yeah, I mean, the nominees announced this year, there were a lot of surprises, but I'm not mad about anything. I think this is a pretty good list. But yeah, I mean, wow. Opening with Jessie Buckley getting Best Supporting Actress, that was really cool. And seeing Drive My Car get a Best Picture nomination in addition to the Best International Film nomination, that was pretty cool too. And obviously there were some snubs, but I mean, there are every year. You can't win them all. There aren't any that made me like super angry like years have passed. But yeah, so thanks for watching me watch the Oscar nominations. And we'll see who ends up winning the awards. And I can't believe I missed it when first watching this.
Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter.
and Kristen, just 2 more categories
Wait,
left.
I went too far. No.
And Kristen Stewart.
So, very happy about Kristen Stewart getting in, obviously. Happy about Olivia Colman getting in. And I'm happy for the others, but Lady Gaga's not in here. Now, I did not see House of Gucci, and yes, I do like Lady Gaga as an actress and a musician, but it seemed so much like she was a lock for this category, especially with all of the, like, awards she was getting nominated for. That actually is really shocking. I thought that Lady Gaga was a lock for House of Gucci. But well, we'll see what happens.